Hello everybody, and welcome to this week's energy update for September 23rd through to the 30th. We have a beautiful week ahead. I feel like we are definitely carrying through some of these themes of truth, enlightenment, and really getting the clarity we need, the downloads we need to really move on through this eclipse season. Let me know how you guys have been doing as you've been navigating this energy. I'd love to hear from you in the comments or sending me some messages about how you've been moving through this, what new revelations have been coming through. And this week really is a continuation of that. We're going to continue to get a lot of truth. We're going to get a continuation of new beginnings and endings coming through. And this big theme of creation this week, we're going to have a lot of focus on communication, a lot of focus on art and creating this new experience that we really want to be living, and a very strong theme as well on our relationships as well. So let's dive in, my friends. Let's see what channeled. So we have growth comes in waves, embracing the ebb and flow, the true divine feminine, easing worry and distress, realizing all is but a season, all is temporary. So enjoy the wins, release the burdens. Life is an endless cycle. And they were showing me the wheel of fortune and how that wheel is constantly turning. Life is what you create. So release hardship. Stop projecting negativity for your life. There is nothing to regret. There is nothing to fear. Close out this chapter of worry for good. It all will be over soon. So let's pause there. This is a really beautiful awareness, especially after this past week where we might have had some doors we've had to close. Maybe we've been enlightened. Sorry, I can't talk today. I apologize, guys. So bear with me. But where we've been enlightened to where we're needing to end chapters for good and what cycles need to be closed off. And sometimes there can be a little bit of this grief about that. There can be this sadness that accompanies that. And I feel like sometimes we can dwell on the hardships and we can dwell on what hasn't been working. And I'm really hearing we need to take the time to properly close out these cycles. So feel those emotions, feel any sadness or lingering negativity surrounding those themes, but we have to also remember that these things are coming to a close so we can start this new beginning, and to know that any hardship that you're currently undergoing is temporary. It is only a season, and the wheel is constantly turning. Life is constantly shifting, and you will not be in this space forever. So I love how we're getting this reminder this week to really drop into our true divine feminine. Feel your feelings, nurture your emotions, nurture your body. Do what you need to do to really express yourself this week and let go with this amazing awareness that this is in fact only temporary. So remembering life is what you create. I love that. So once more, keeping our focus on that. What do I want to create now? What is coming forward for us next? And be aware, I don't want to bypass my emotions. I don't want to bypass my grief. These things are important for me to feel. So do that. Release your emotions thoroughly, however feels good for you. And then go to this next space where it's like, okay, now I'm ready to let go of this for good. Now I'm ready to draw the line between my past and my future, my grief and my joy, and finding that beautiful balance. So the other aspect that was coming in was this fear energy, this worry energy about these themes following you forward. Now, this is only natural. When we're closing out these cycles and we're closing out these big themes, there can be that underlying fear, like, what if it isn't closed off? What if this is going to follow me into my new beginning? What if this is going to happen again? and the worry that can come from that. So the universe is honoring that, and it wants us to really look at that. Where are we still afraid that we're going to repeat these cycles, that we are not going to have final closure, that we're going to start self-sabotaging, right? And they're showing me this kind of karmic energy that underlies that as well, because a lot of us have experienced past lives where these traumas, these heavy, heavy themes and cycles might have been very repeated. And that worry, that fear that sometimes we can't even put our finger on might be stemming from those karmic past lives, might be stemming from perhaps generational trauma as well. So really being aware of that, like what is not mine, what is mine, and how can I draw that line of the sand and go, okay, what needs to heal so I can remove this for good, so I can stop perpetuating fear onto my new future, because that is not welcome in my future. So I'm really seeing we have to do our due diligence this week. We have to be aware of what energies we are feeling, which means, yes, you have to check into your emotions this week. Yes, you're going to have to spend some time really meditating, going deep. What is happening in my healing right now? What are these emotions that I'm feeling that might even have deeper ties than I realized, right? So we have to bring awareness to this energy and have very strong boundaries with it. So once we've gone in, once we understand where this is coming from, how to remove it for good. Now, this is a good time to seek out practitioners that can help you. So if you're someone you're like, I don't know how, how do I tell if I have a past life coming up? How do I work with that? What do I do? How do I know this is generational ancestral stuff? This is when it might be handy to learn or to educate yourself, or go to a practitioner who can help you through that and shift you through that as well. So really seek out help if you don't know how to do that. But I'm really seeing this week, if this resonates for a certain number of you, check out those resources that are available to help you really get the clarity to clear this energy for good. Because we're not going to self-sabotage anymore. We're not going to let anything cloud our judgment or take away from our joy, take away from our new chapter in life now. So I'm really seeing these cycles need to end. And one of the best ways that you can do this yourself is meditation. Meditate, ask your higher self, your spirit team, whatever feels good for you, to show you what needs to be healed, what is ready to be closed off and released for good. And for those of you who want to take it a step further, I have a free cord cutting meditation on my website that you can use to help you release energetic cords to toxic energies as well. So you can check that out on my website, and I will leave that linked below if that calls. But moving from there, we are moving on, okay? But with this, we're having to have this awareness of our humanness. We're needing to have this awareness of sometimes the shadow parts of ourselves. And this is what was coming through next. So allowing shadows to unfold and be seen. What has been kept in your heart too long? What needs to be voiced and seen? Allow room and space for trapped emotions to flow free. And they were showing me like mini releases. And what I mean by that is, like, sometimes we can just have these emotions that pop up out of nowhere. And it's like, oh, wow, this is really bothering me. And then you get it out. And it's not like a big, arduous thing. And that's what they were showing me happening this week, is we might have these little spells of emotion, these little moments where we're feeling how we need to feel. And it's this beautiful purging process that is happening. So letting go of the leftovers, all the words unsaid. Communication is free. Is key. Communication is key. So we're getting this amazing awareness of our shadow aspects this week, and we're coming to this amazing acceptance of them. So I'm really seeing this week we might have some things that come up where we're like, wow, you know what? I really needed justice in this, or I really needed to have this conversation with this person so they knew how I felt, or I really needed to be harsh because this has got to stop. And sometimes we have to be firm. And this is really coming through this week of where we're needing to find that line between compassion and self-respect, and needing to gauge that very carefully, because some of us will want to go to the compassion of things and we're going to want to bypass our humanness. We're going to want to bypass how we actually feel. So a good example of that is someone hurting your feelings and you're angry about it, or you're really upset about it, but you don't want to rock the boat. So you're going to bypass how you feel to keep the peace. But that is a real lack of respect for yourself. And that is a real lack of respect for your own emotions, which are a part of you, which are you. So we have to allow ourselves to see these parts of ourselves, even if they are parts that we would particularly like to judge, right? So how easy is it for us to judge ourselves because we feel a certain way that we don't want to feel? So this is where we have to be honest. This is where we have to get really clear on our emotions. And we have to get very radically truthful about our feelings. So what is it you're feeling? What is it you're judging? What is it you've been holding on to that we need to release, that we need to honor? Okay? We have to allow space for these things. We have to allow that room for our emotions to be free. And I love this because once more, we're getting this reminder that, spirituality isn't all fluff. And sometimes we forget that. Sometimes we get pushed this narrative that we need to be happy and joyful and positive all the time to be a high vibrational being. That is not true. And we have to remember that we are a spiritual being, but we are also a human being. Okay? We have to remember we are both. We cannot bypass our humanness. We cannot spirituality out of our human space. Okay, we are going to be human. We are going to have emotions. We are going to have things that we feel. And we have to learn how to find this beautiful combination of both sides of ourselves in an acceptance, right? So I feel this week we're going to be getting this amazing awareness of where we have been in separation within our bodies, within our emotions, with our true feelings and humanness. And we're learning how to bridge the gap so we can have this beautiful acceptance of all of us, all parts of us, everything that makes you, you. And forgiving yourself for perhaps feeling the way you do, or forgiving yourself for things that we've judged, okay? And this is bringing real release. This is bringing real freedom and allowing us to learn how to embrace the emotions of ourselves. So this is letting go of any of these lingering energies, any of these leftovers is what they were saying. So once more, we might have these little spikes of emotion and we'll be like, whoa, where did that come from? But what I'm really hearing, it's just clearing the clutter. It's clearing any of these lingering things that maybe even years ago bothered us and we kind of put by the wayside. But now it's like you're in this space where you can hear it, you can feel it, and you can cleanse it and release it. So just be mindful of that. What little things come to the surface, and can you hold space for them? Recognize, wow, this is a part of me. This is an emotion that I didn't get to process during that time. This is something that I need to process now and give space and allow it to have a voice, because guess what? I deserve to have a voice, right? So this is where communication is key. We might have these, they're kind of showing me like verbal diarrhea where it's just like, you got to get it out. You got to say it. You got to release it. So be very mindful of how this comes through for you. So I'm seeing journaling coming through very strongly, talking to friends, having your companions that you can just bounce ideas off of or vent to are going to be very, very valuable this week. Now, let's move on. So we have letting go of vices that only bring temporary relief, seeing escapism in its true form, avoidance of the bigger problems. Where do we need a reality check? Where does love need to illuminate where we're still in sorrow or judgment? So once again, we might get illumination to vices this week, things that we do, things that we seek out for comfort, but only are temporary relievers of our stress. So they're just showing me like bad habits, things that we might not have realized are actually detrimental to us, and how we need to change the narrative, how we need to change what comfort we're seeking out to long-standing comfort, to real love, to real self-respect. So we're going to get the veil released from our eyes, where we're going to really see what we're doing. Okay? And where we might actually be self-sabotaging. So what are some of those vices? What are some of those things that we go to escape reality and escape our problems? And how can we stop avoiding the issues that we really need to look at and really actually follow through in and see to conclusion, and illuminate those things to a more loving perspective? So once more, they're kind of showing me like our relationship to food as an example, and this can be a real big one for a lot of us. Maybe we are binging on certain unhealthy foods when we feel bad or we feel sad, and we are basically eating those emotions. Or when we're going, say, the other extreme, where we're working out incredibly hard to the point of exhaustion and our bodies are not handling that well, and we're just trying to work out the issues that we're feeling, the emotions that we're feeling, but we're not allowing ourselves to actually just face the emotions that we need to face. So what are some of those avenues that you seek out? And those are just random examples, but what are those vices that can become unhealthy for you that you are participating in to avoid the problems that you need to look at and the emotions you need to be feeling? So get a big picture viewpoint this week. Where do we need a reality check? And I love how they put this. It's like, where does love need to illuminate where we're still in sorrow or judgment, right? So we need to look at these things so we can free ourselves. It's so beautiful. So from there, we are releasing fears surrounding our relationships. So where do you need to lean in more? Expressing your true feelings, leaving no room for doubt or assumption. Be there for each other. Breathe life into each other's souls. The best is yet to come, and you can trust now. So they're really showing me this relationship to our heart chakra this week. And we're going to once more get this, like they're showing me the mirror. We're going to get this reflection of where our relationship truly stands with ourselves and with others. But this is really interesting with the mirror. So take a look at your relationships this week and be very mindful. What are these relationships telling me about myself? What are these relationships telling me about where my current relationship is with myself and others? So once more, the people in our lives are there for a reason. They're there to teach us something. They're there to show us something. So when was the last time you looked at your relationships truly and saw the lesson that lies beneath the surface? So one of the big things that I'm seeing is this release of fear. So this is beautiful. They're kind of showing me two individuals who, because of their lack of trust that people can really be there for them, that people can really be genuine, that people will really show up for them, they're not allowing themselves to admit their true feelings, where it's like, you know what, I really would like you in my life and I really would like to have you to depend on, but I've been so afraid of just letting down my walls and letting you do that for me. I've been so afraid that I'm going to inconvenience you. Or it's almost like they're showing me this little dance of like, I know I really want to trust you and I want to bring my walls down, but my past has just not enabled me to do that to the full degree yet. So they're showing me this little dance that is happening. And this is just one example, so please take what resonates. But it's showing us this awareness of where we've been afraid, where we've been fearful of trusting. And this could reflect back to your own relationship with yourself. Where are you afraid to let down your walls and actually see yourself in your entirety? Where are you afraid to be vulnerable with yourself and honor how you really feel? And could taking this next step in your relationships propel your own relationship forward by going, yes, I am safe to be me. Yes, I am safe to move forward. Yes, I am safe to feel how I feel, to say what I need to say, to have the space held for me to be vulnerable and true. Because they're really showing me this has been a separation that has occurred. This is a block in the heart chakra that has been pushing people away, that has been pushing anything away that could possibly get inside. So once more, we are needing to see the truth of where we've actually been sabotaging relationships in our lives because we are afraid. We are afraid of being open, vulnerable, and honest with who we are, with how we feel, with what we need. Okay? This is so important for us to look at. So where are we actually needing to take a leap of faith in our relationships this week? Where are we needing to be open and express how we truly feel? And I love how they put this. It's like leaving no room for doubt or assumptions, right? Because once more, we can assume something that could be totally wrong. We could doubt something when there's no reason to doubt. So I'm seeing we're clearing the clutter so we can get really honest and real. So I love this. This is allowing these doors of communication to be opened. This is allowing you and your relationships to have this fresh slate. And it's very mutual. It's very beneficial. A lot of us have been receiving good, beautiful relationships, soul-felt relationships that have been coming in to support us. And now we just need to trust that they're there. They're there for a reason. They're there to support us, and we need to let them. So I love how they said breathe life into each other's souls. Who is that person in your life that brings literal life to you again? What are those people? Who are those people that make you feel alive, that make you feel seen, that make you feel heard without judgment? Okay? And I love how this is expanding the heart chakra this week. This is allowing this door to love to open more fully. And we're getting the clarity. The best is yet to come, and you can trust now, right? It's so beautiful. You can trust now. So this is opening new doors of opportunity to us. So let's move from there. We have making room for enjoyment, fascination, and wonder. Cultivating a new hobby just for your own delight. Follow your interests. Follow your light. What makes it shine brighter, bigger, bolder? Release judgments, expectations. Just be. Enjoy this. This is just for you. I love this. So this week we're going to be getting this excitement that happens when we begin to follow our bliss. So some of us are going to be starting new hobbies. Some of us are going to be starting fresh new things when we follow where our joy leads. So think of those things that have piqued your interests recently. What are they? How can you start taking a leap of faith and doing them? How can you sign up for that class? How can you sign up for a meet and greet? How can you sign up for, a book club? Whatever it is that has piqued your interest, how can you take the steps forward in it? And do it just because you enjoy it. Because they're really showing me a lot of us have certain expectations of ourselves or feel like we have to be doing this or that for it to be worth our time. But no, like, when was the last time you did something just for the enjoyment of it? Just because you deserve it and you want to do it. So give yourself the leisure time this week to discover what that is for yourself and to try new things. If you're someone you're like, I don't really know what to do, just try things. They're showing me like a buffet where it's like pick and choose what you'd like to try and taste and see what's for you. And the biggest thing is to release all judgment of it, right? Sometimes we're like, well, I don't want to try it because I don't know if I'll be good enough. I don't want to do this because what if I look funny or I look bad? Take the leap of faith. Let yourself try it. What's the worst that can happen? So this is actually being a real catalyst for us this week to make new friends and solidify current friendships, because I'm really hearing this is going to deepen bonds and connections. And it's based on fun, right? It's based on enjoyment. Nothing better than that. So from there, we have delicate footing, embracing the change coming into your life, making space for the blessings. Are you seeing them? Connecting with them every day. Make space, clear the clutter. A new day is here. Your new life is now. There is nothing to worry about. Release struggle. Everything is in the palm of your hands. So this is so beautiful because once more, we might be feeling a little unsteady because we are on this new path. We don't really know where it's leading, perhaps. Maybe we've gotten some downloads, but it's like nothing set in stone. So I'm saying we just need to embrace the change. And once more, this is really requiring us to embrace our divine feminine energy by being in the ebb and flow, by allowing things to just happen this week and avoiding expectations, avoiding putting any pressure on yourself. Just see where it flows. And this is really helping us feel safe even when we're in times of change. So this is going to build our self-trust. This is going to build our divine trust, right? Trusting the divine has a hand in our lives. It is going to ensure we get to where we need to go. And letting go of what that needs to look like, right? A lot of times we have a very set in stone view. This is how things need to be. But this week, clear all of that. Let change just come in. Let things happen upon their own accord and flow the best you can. And they're really showing me how we can make the most of our experience. And that is by noticing the blessings, by seeing what's already going right, by getting excited, by getting hopeful, by allowing ourselves to participate in our bliss and in what lights us up. So are you seeing your blessings? Are you connecting with them? Where are you in this space of gratitude in your life, right? It's time to take a look at that. So we're making space by clearing negativity, by clearing clutter, and recognizing that we really have started our new path. We have started a new life. And once more, they're showing me like, maybe not everything is perfect. Maybe not everything is what we thought it needed to look like to be on a completely new beginning, but that's not the case. You have started. You are on your new path. And once more, it comes down to your perspectives. It comes down to what you're focusing on, what you're looking at, right? So where are your eyes looking, right? So this is where we're going to have to once more have firm boundaries. Where are we still stuck in the self-sabotage? Where are we still worrying, doubting our future, doubting our ability? We need to release struggle. And this is going to help us see that everything is already here. Everything we've ever needed is in the palm of your own hands. It is within you. Everything you could ever need is within you. And to trust that. Okay? So this week we have a beautiful week, and we're going to really want to focus on these energies of creation, communication, speaking our truths and connecting with our truths, gaining the clarity we need, and committing to our new lives, committing to living a life of love, and ensuring that we trust, we take that leap of faith, not only in our relationships, but our relationship with ourselves. So I want to pull a card for us to end our reading for this week. This is beautiful. We have the Miriam, Healing the Heart. This is a sacred time of healing. In order for you to feel whole once more, it's essential for you to reclaim all the lost parts of yourselves. Call back all the aspects of you, all the gifts and talents that you've been forced to hide or repress. By unleashing these tender aspects of your deeper self, you allow your heart to rebuild and strengthen. The activation is, I reclaim myself and my story. I am ready for wholeness. This is beautiful. So once more, I feel like this card is highlighting those lost pieces, those pieces of ourselves that we've shrouded in shame, those pieces of ourselves that we have disowned or judged. So we're really seeing the shadows and welcoming them back. We are filling them with sun. We are gaining the clarity, the acceptance we need. And this is going to truly heal the heart. When we call back these parts of our humanness, when we give ourselves permission to be who we are and speak what we need to speak and say what we need to say, once more, we are reclaiming our right to be here. We are reclaiming our right to exist. This is so, so perfect. So really be mindful of that heart this week. Recognize how much you are loved and how much you deserve, my friends. So claim it this week. So friends, that's all I have for you. I hope you have a beautiful week this week, and I'm sending you all the love and support from me to you now. If you need help on your journey, if you would like some support, some healing, please check out my offerings on my website, Rebecca.meisl.com, and I will leave those links below. Have a beautiful and blessed day, friends. Bye.